Good afternoon. I just want to make an announcement. I want to announce that pursuant to Section 2.2-3712B of the Code of Virginia, the Lynchburg City Council will be holding closed meetings at an undisclosed location within the following 15 days for the purpose of interviewing candidates for the position of city manager. And now we will proceed with roll call. Let's see, where do I start? Start with Chris. Councilman Wilder.
I did attend an event at Point of Honor this weekend. The mayor was there. I went on Friday as well as Saturday, where they had presentations in reference to the enslaved population that had been, to kind of give you a simulation that was at Point of Honor, Point of Honor, I'm on Popular Force Board, at Point of Honor. It was a really great presentation. And then on Saturday, they even made reference to the indigenous people that had populated that area originally, which was just it was such an informative presentation for me. So I'm so thankful for all the persons that work at Point of Honor and the museum system for bringing that to our attention. Thank you.
No. Councilmember? No? No? Councilmember Nelson, anything? No. Councilmember Halverson, anything?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Got a couple things. One, there's been a report by Polycom, and I think this was a good kind of time for us to, with a new, fresh eyes and new time. They do economic development and economic impact rankings. The negative of this survey is that it's a metropolitan statistical area, but we've now gone to the lowest number we have in 10 years. And maybe we're now the bottom 15%. And I'm not casting aspersions on anything, but lots of times we hear reports that are great rankings and we tout them. But I think equally we need to, when there's something maybe that's negative, like economic impact, I think it does lots of rankings as far as wage growth, job growth, lots of things. It'd be nice to kind of see what the driver is. I mean, it'd be, why that's the case, if there's something we can do differently, if it's all based on the MSA, where it's the counties that we have no control over, or what we have control over for us in this new time to kind of take advantage or figure out what we can do maybe differently if we need to. Secondly, the school board, and I sent an email asking our city manager and a few others, when the schools are now going to be meeting 2 days a week in person, and I recognize the coronavirus and I recognize the different rationale, but the standards of quality in education say you have to provide a quality education to our children. Meeting 2 days a week in person is going to make that, I really question how that can be quality. It's one thing when you're in grad school teaching yourself. It's another thing when you're an 8-year-old kid trying to learn distance. I'm wondering when, normally when one of our specific schools don't make the grade, a student can go to a different school within the same jurisdiction. If all the schools in Lynchburg are going to be 2 days a week, it's going to predominantly affect the majority of our kids in schools, which the majority of our kids are African American students, and I don't think that's going to be a good thing for education. I don't know if there's an ability for us to kind of push for either one, opening it, or two, figuring out a way that the parents that want their children to go 5 days a week, that they can actually go to a school that is going to teach them 5 days a week, whether it be neighboring counties, or whether it be we set up some kind of charter school that has the fact that we're going to educate these kids and the parents that want to go there. It's going to make it very difficult for working families. It's very troubling when I see that. So I'm wondering if there's anything we can do, and at least begin to think about what we can do going forward, whether it be having choice for the students so they can actually learn, whether it be refunds to our taxpayers if they're not getting a full quality education. I don't think anybody can, I know they're going to try to make it a quality education, but meeting 2 days a week, it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. So if there's something we can do looking forward on that, I think we all care about our kids getting education, and I think lots of you who've been on the school board recognize the difficulties, but how can we navigate that, and how can we push to better provide for our students? So at some point, obviously, in the future, it would be great if we could see something on that.
Thank you. Councilmember Tweedy, you had something?
I just wanted to respond, along with the kids, I think ensuring the safety of teachers and staff as well. If we're pushing for kids to go 5 days a week in full school buildings, considering where we are with COVID-19, and I realize everyone wants to be in school, but I think we have to keep safety at the forefront also for returning our students and our staff, bus drivers, nutrition people, assistants, all in a safe environment. So I know that the schools are working toward that. As a school board member, safety of students and staff is very important priority, and I know parents have had to deal with a different schedule and a different circumstance, but we all have. But I think if you look to push to make other options, then we are pushing toward trouble. And so I would defer to the school system and the planning that they're doing with the state. That would be my opinion. But I think because you bring that up, it's a valid question. People have the concern. So I just wanted to give that input. I didn't have a roll call item, but I just wanted to say that during that time.
Thank you.
I just think about the catchphrase that was our previous administrator that said, every child by name and by need. And so I recognize if some of the, most of the children are younger and pretty non-susceptible. The older ones, as Ms. Tweedy states, the older ones that are maybe susceptible, I'm sure there's something that they could, the older teachers and administrators, I'm sure there's something that they could do that. But I think if we focus on the children learning, I think that's the chief priority. So.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Wright, do you have a roll call item?
No items, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And I have a couple of things. So basically, I want to remind everybody that the LPD is doing the neighborhood listening sessions, and there are 4. One is Wednesday, July 15th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Daniels Hill Center. Then Wednesday, July 22nd, 6 to 8 p.m. College Hill Center. And then Wednesday, July 29th, 6 to 8 at Jubilee Center. And then Thursday, August 6th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Miller Park, 301 Grove Street. I encourage members of these communities and other communities also to go to these meetings, and you have an opportunity to have some input into how you feel about the police department and things that have happened in your life in relationship with LPD. So thank you very much. And we have no other business, so our meeting is adjourned.